Good day all, here on Monday, March the 23rd. A little behind on getting on these. It's kind of like, I finally decided to start doing some of them, and then it's kind of like, why don't I just wait, a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. I've been dealing with some allergy drainage into a cold when I was going in and out of the rain the other night. So, not Corona, it's not Corona, I'm pretty sure. I guess we'll find out. But yeah. So, even if I'd wanted to make a video, I guess my voice wasn't quite up to it. And of course, I always have cat hairs in my mouth, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, here is your list of things we are going to go through today in the grander scheme of things. That doesn't make any sense. First, what I will do here is I will show off, this is my complete collection of an old syndicated show called Mutant X. It was superhero. They had all been, and I thought I heard some kind of rumor that it was supposed to be tied to Marvel Television, but it wasn't, and I don't know. There was some kind of drama there because there, at the time, there was, when I heard that there was going to be a Mutant X TV show, because there was actually a Mutant X comic series from Marvel at the time. So that's why I was kind of like, oh, they're going to be making a Marvel TV show, because like the failed Generation X show that never happened. I'm like, oh, they're going to be making a show about Cyclops' brother, because Havoc is Cyclops' brother, if you know. But then it turned out into these. This guy right here was doing like experiments, and he ended up with making people with powers and stuff. And there's more to the mythology that they get into later of it, but they just have special powers. It's basically an X-Men show, even though it's not the X-Men. Let's see. He can throw electricity. He's kind of their leader guy. He doesn't really have powers. She has, she's like an empath, I believe. I'm pretty sure she's an empath. And later she gets like this, spoiler alert, I guess, she gets kind of like this mind blast kind of power thing that's kind of cool. What does he do? I don't remember what he does. I don't remember what his powers is. But she's like a feral, like, I mean, she's got a lot of agility, fighting skills. She's very badass in this TV show. I like her. I like her very much. She has like maybe mutant, or not mutant. She has like some kind of animal DNA or something spliced with hers. So she has like, she has like super strength, and she's badass. She's just badass. That's all you need to know. God, what is his power? I think, like, later they actually all kind of go into a, they all kind of, like, their powers evolve or something. But the second season of this has one of the best, season finales ever, and it would upset people today, because what are season finales supposed to do? They're supposed to leave you wanting more. They're supposed to leave you in a place like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? And the second season of this show is definitely, and unfortunately they only got a third season, and they left the door wide open. I always planned on kind of having my own little fanfic thing, and I never got around to actually writing it, because they left a lot of unanswered questions about stuff, unfortunately, or they left it in a place that you would want to know what happened next. A very interesting place. She is a character that comes along later, and she can turn invisible, I believe. I seem to remember she's fairly badass too. But this is definitely an interesting. If you like superheroes, you will like Mutant X. It's very episodic, kind of thing. Story of the week, and then like I said, I think season 3 actually becomes a little bit more like of an overarching story kind of thing. And still, like in season 1, they're fighting like this guy. He's the main baddie guy. Now this is a weird a weird, because as you can see, I have, well, seasons 1, 2, and 3 right here, and I have season 1 here with, like this, but I also have season 1 here like this. And I found this on eBay. I can't quite tell what the sticker says. Can you tell what the sticker says? It says something. There we go. You might be able to tell now. Something collection. Double feature. Dual. Something. But it's from Advent Films. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen another copy that looks like this, and that's what it was online. Was that's what they said, that they tried to look it up, and I mean, it has a UPC, a proof of purchase. These discs are compatible with all DVD players displaying these symbols. Authorized use in the U.S. and Canada. So maybe this is a Canadian version. I don't know. They said they'd never seen a version like this, and I'd never seen a version like this either. It left me wondering, because, well, at the time there was a lot of different, like, you could go on eBay sometimes, and or sell.com. Don't ask me how I know these things. And you could get bootleg versions of different things, and some of the people, they would make their own artwork for the DVD case, but usually it was just a DVD case, kind of like just a regular like DVD movie case. So this is if this is a bootleg version, this is a very intricate bootleg version, because now I've slipped this out, and this fell out. Advent Films, whatever that is. Is it in Canada? No, it's in Houston, Texas. I don't know. So there's even a comment card, or complete this online Advent Films survey. Thank you for your purchase. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what this is. I've never seen this version again, either myself. So I don't know that it's very sturdy. It's not very sturdy. But Advent Films. So I don't know if this is like a special. I don't know what this was. But because it was a rare version. Oops! I better put the survey back in with it. They might want me to. They probably don't still exist. Advent Films. I don't know. But yeah, since it was a unique version, I had to own it. I don't know how many people remember this show, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much, and it's very superhero-y. I think these actually go for a pretty penny on eBay. So if I ever got desperate, maybe I could sell them. I was at one point I was going through these and watching them, but I never quite made it that far. I might have made it to the end of the second season, and I haven't started the third season because, as you can see, it's still in the plastic. So, but yes, if you like superheroes and sci-fi superhero kind of action adventure TV shows, Mutant X is definitely for you. And let me put that down here at the bottom. And this was a show that lasted 2 seasons, I believe, correct? Complete second season. Yes, it is True Calling. True Calling. And this starred Eliza Dushku. And later, he wasn't in the first season, Jason Priestley. He was in that as well. But he wasn't in it until the second season, if I recall correctly. He might have been in it at the beginning of the last season. But basically, and Zach Galifianakis. This is where, I'll admit, when I first watched Zach Galifianakis' stand-up, I was not really a fan. Well, I was a fan when his first stuff was kind of weird, but then he sat down at the piano. Sorry, I looked at my computer screen. He sat down at the piano later, and I liked his jokes more. But I came to love Zach Galifianakis from this TV show because he plays the Um, her friend and her he works in the morgue. She works in the morgue. And she, like, the dead can talk to her if they need, some kind of, if they have something that's unresolved or whatever. And then they reach out to her for help, and they're like, help me or whatever. They jump out from behind the sheet or whatever. And so this kind of spooky, but then it's like she gets to, like, reset the day and go back and try to help these people. And that's Jason Priestley's character in the second season. He was trying to balance the scales, and he was trying to, she was trying to help this person, and he was trying to make sure that fate turned out as it originally was intended to do so. What if you had the power to change the future by reliving the past? For True Davies, that's the question she faces after her internship to medical school falls through and she takes a job working the graveyard shift at the city morgue. Left alone her first night on the job, she's shocked when a dead woman opens her eyes and asks for help. True then awakens to find herself reliving the same day all over again, except now she possesses the power to change the fate of the people wheeled into the morgue the night before, if she can find them before tragedy strikes. So it was definitely very, interesting, because sometimes it was like she wasn't sure exactly what it was that she was, needing to do, or, exactly how this person needed to be saved, or whatever. I wish it had went for more seasons, especially, I think adding Jason Priestley in the second season with his character, I seem to remember that was a good, it gave the show a little bit of a antagonist kind of thing, because before that it was very like, kind of story of the week and kind of, but after that it was kind of like, now she not only has to try to save this person, but keep him from, making sure this person wasn't saved, basically. So that's basically what that's all about. So I think it was interesting. I think it was a fun time. And another show that I find interesting that I don't think anybody else liked was Birds of Prey. And it's got a shiny cover, and look, she's all like embossed. Is that what they call that? I never remember. She was the daughter of Batman and Catwoman. And she had her little, well, this was actually Barbara Gordon. So they had Commissioner Gordon's daughter in it, but by this point she was in the wheelchair. She had gotten, I think her back had gotten broken by the Joker, or maybe Harley Quinn is technically in this. She's not really, she's Harleen Quinzel. She's not actually Harley Quinn. I don't think they don't have a picture of her on here either. No, they do not. But she's like the main. She's kind of the one that's like, running the gangs or whatnot. She's the one with all the nefarious plots that kind of, keep. Is Huntress? Is she supposed to be Huntress? Maybe. Helena. Who will stand up to villains now that a heartbroken Dark Knight has mysteriously vanished? Never fear, new Gothamites. A trio of champions is ready to take wing, and Helena, the daughter of Batman and Catwoman, is among them. She calls herself Huntress. She does call herself Huntress. That's what I thought. And crime is her prey. Teenage Dinah is the youngest of the group, learning as she goes, and gifted in clairvoyance. I guess I kind of forgot that about her. Of course, by the end of the season, she's kind of there. These two are the ones that are like fighting the crime, and she just happens to follow along in with them. But of course, by the end of the first season, she's a little bit more badass than when she started. Kind of like, if you watched Xena, Gabrielle, kind of started out just as the bard, basically, and then became like Raphael from the Ninja Turtles by the end of it. Well, she started off as Donatello and then went to Raphael, kind of. So she could have been, more helpful, I guess, in the later, if they'd got a second season. They never did. Like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was kind of, superhero-y kind of action. I don't honestly remember much superhero-y kind of action. And like I said, Harley Quinn isn't really Harley. She's Harleen Quinzel. She's more the psychiatrist in this one. Now at the very end, Mia Farrow, is that who plays? I think Mia Sara. Sorry, Mia Sara is the one that plays Harleen Quinzel. And like by the end of the season, she had become kind of Harley Quinn-ish, but not really Harley Quinn. It was a very watered down version of the character, and it was very unfortunate. And of course she has is Shamar Moore. Is that who that is? Yeah, Shamar Moore. She had her love story. He was a cop, and so I kind of enjoyed it for what it was, and this is nice and shiny. And she actually, I don't know how many people know this, in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, the latest CW DC show crossover, she actually, at the beginning of one of the episodes, she actually made an unexpected cameo in it. Of course, her world, I don't know if you've seen it or not, so I don't want to give out any spoilers, but there's all these Crisis on the Infinite Earths, and, she's on her Earth, I guess, whichever Earth it's supposed to be, and shit's going down. So, that was actually a very cool crossover, because there was a lot of, different different things they were able to pull in. Smallville, and they even pulled in Birds of Prey, which I thought was kind of cool. They didn't pull in, unfortunately, Lois and Clark. I guess, Terry Hatcher was on Supergirl. I was like, well, maybe they couldn't get Terry Hatcher, but yeah, they already had her, so she would be willing to come back, I guess. I don't know. And they had Dean Cain, because he played their dad, at least in the first season. They haven't really talked about their dad since then, but whatever. I guess that was CBS. This is CW. Who cares? But yeah, I don't remember, like, if you're looking for more action, I would say, like superhero action, go for Mutant X. Mutant X is definitely more of the of the superhero. If you're looking for like special effects and just kind of cool fight scenes and whatever, there might have been some cool fight scenes in this, but like she doesn't really have any special powers. She just kind of like it might just be like flips and kicks and spins, and which are also kind of cool on their own, I guess. But I remember Mutant X being more superhero-y than this show, but I did enjoy this show for what it was. And now, one of my favorite shows of all time, one of the best animated comedies ever that I love so much, and there should have been more of it, and I'm kind of mad that there wasn't. The Critic. The Critic was one of the best animated, adult animated, I guess you could say, in the vein of like Simpsons. He actually made an appearance on The Simpsons in one of their, I think it was one of their episodes. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because this is the complete series, as it were, as it is, I guess. Yeah, he made an appearance in The Simpsons in one of their episodes. Because it was on, I think it started on Fox and then it went to ABC. Was it 3 seasons? Was it on for 3 seasons? 2 seasons, I guess. Disc 1 contains episodes 1 through 8 from season 1. Disc 2 contains 9 through 13 from season 1, 1 through 3 through season 2. And Disc 3 contains episodes 4 through 10 of season 2. So it was only, I guess it was on Fox for 1 year and then ABC for 1 year. But anyway, it's from the producers of The Simpsons. The guy whose name I can't think of right now plays Jay Sherman. A film critic. John Lovitz. There it is. I was like, it's got to be somewhere here on the back. John Lovitz plays Jay Sherman. He's a film critic, and it stinks, And he's not very well respected at his job. There's a lot of kooky characters in it. His dad is like crazy. He's actually adopted. I believe, if I remember. He's adopted into a rich family, so and then like his Duke, his boss is just ridiculous, and his his hairdresser lady, he gets no respect. He gets no respect, pretty much. But yeah, this is, and it has so many great jokes, and one of the things is because it is he's a film critic. They actually have a lot of spoofs of like movies in here, because he'll be talking about a movie, and then kind of like Family Guy will do their cutaways. His cutaways in this would be to clips from the movies that he is, critiquing or whatever. And there's like Scent of a Jackass, and then there's the Jurassic Park, where the raptors are too smart, and gosh, there's just so many great jokes in this, and like the spoofs of the movies are great. His dad is ridiculous. He's like my favorite character, I think, in this. Some of it might be kind of inappropriate, I guess, in some ways, and some of it's humor, but it doesn't, it's somewhere between, I think, Simpsons and Family Guy, because Simpsons is kind of a little, maybe, I don't necessarily know that I want to say higher brow comedy, but Family Guy is obviously very lower brow in some ways, a little bit more raunchy, a little bit more down in the dirt, I guess. The Simpsons can be that way, I suppose, but Family Guy is obviously there more often. So this was somewhere in between, and it skewered. Actually, Roper, Ebert and Roper. No, who were the first guys? Siskel and Ebert. Blah, blah. They actually made a cameo on this at one point. I want to say it's in season 2. I can't remember. I think they were playing themselves, maybe, on here. So that's kind of a special little episode for it. But yeah, it's just one of my favorite comedies. It should have lasted for so much longer than 2 seasons. I'm very sad that it did not. Because, like I said, it's one of the greatest, for me personally, it is one of the greatest adult-oriented animated comedies ever. I will stand by it even as much as I love Family Guy, I will stand by it more than Family Guy. It's up there. But the complete series, it stinks. He kind of has a foul attitude, I guess, a lot of times. But like I said, it's kind of like, the Rodney Dangerfield, he gets no respect kind of thing. But yes, this is, if you enjoy animated comedies and you have not seen this one, for the love of God, check it out, because it's the best. It's the best. But anyway, that's our pile for today. I might do another one tomorrow. I'm contemplating a taste test video, because I found something very interesting today as I was trying to find anything on the shelves. I did find some stuff to bring home with me, so we're not like completely bare on our shelves, except for maybe the toilet paper, probably. But I found something interesting, an interesting little snack that I may do a taste test video of tomorrow. I already came home and ate one of my Dinty Moore meals this morning because I was hungry, and I'm like, well, that kind of ruins the taste test. I can't do that now. But maybe tomorrow. But anyway, that is today's blop, 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 and I will see you for what I see you.